Ooh, I like that one. Yeah. You are listening to the Lost Minds. You say it, that sounds better. You are listening to the Lost Minds podcast.
Let's get this session started with a deep breathing exercise. And by deep breathing exercise, I mean, see on the inside.
Hello. What are you doing? Just making a podcast. Bet your ass cool.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Lost Minds podcast.
Welcome back.
Damn,
that was on the next
that
level
was
right
on
there.
The next level, dude. Well, we got to talk about.
Welcome back. Admir's back from Mexico.
Yep.
How was it?
Shortened my lifespan by at least 15 years. Oh, man. No, it was fun.
Donkey
I was
show.
going to say elaborate, but
Yeah,
he's
no,
like,
Donkey Show will do that to you.
he's like, I was outside and I passed out in the sun.
Yeah.
He's like, it turned into a grape.
3 days to rehydrate me with nothing but tears of orphans.
It was like a mummy. He's like a mummified monk. He's just like, oh. Then they like kind of hose him with water and just unthawed.
First, my arm or whatever the water hits, my arm's like pop back into
Dude,
normal.
if you were to do that, they'd be like, oh, he's the enlightened one. Oh man, he's the new. I don't even know. Since I guess Buddhism, right? They're missing that other. I forgot what not the Dalai Lama, but there's somebody else they call it. That you could be him. You like come out of
The Holy
sleep,
Krishna.
out of the desalting.
Yep.
And be like, I've seen things. I know things. You're like, first round,
Fight.
strikes. Whatever.
No,
They're
but
predicting everything, dude. Start winning everything.
Mexico was pretty interesting. It was felt like I was just in America. I
Yeah.
was getting everything for free because I went to an all-exclusive resort and got everything for free for a week, basically.
How did it go first? Did you fly in there?
Yeah, they flew us out from.
Did you
Salt
leave
Lake.
the resort?
No, dude. I watched enough Family Guy to know you don't leave the resort
You don't go off resort.
as soon as like that.
Fuck that, dude.
That one episode of Family Guy where Peter's like, "What's the worst that can happen?" As soon as he takes a step off, it's like gets hit in the head with an arrow. And dies.
That's because you went to Puerto Vallarta, yeah?
Yeah,
Shoot, dude. I stayed off resort when I went to Puerto Vallarta.
yeah, dude.
It was just fine. It was actually not bad. But then if you were off resort, then you're all right. You don't get ripped up as much. But at least I hear if you get like from the resort to there, you get ripped off. But I don't know. I didn't.
I don't know, dude. When I got off the airplane and we landed in Mexico, it felt really weird in that airport because everybody was trying to get you to buy something. Literally, as soon as I stepped out of the terminal, it's like, "Hey, would you like this?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, yes, yes, I love that." And
God damn
dude,
it.
I was out of money by the time I got
I
like
do
30
need a
feet to the
fucking
airport.
banana holder.
He's like wearing a bunch of hats. He's got a bunch of blankets and stuff. Extra like
Really
souvenirs.
warm.
14 bottles of tequila and shit. And he's like, damn, dude.
You know what I could use? Hey, you look like you need another luggage carrier.
That's all I brought back when I came back from there was like, I think I got some Mexican blankets as souvenirs, and then we brought some tequila back and stuff like that. And
If you look closely, they say made in China.
the things, shit, I know.
That would be so funny.
Some of them probably were, but like some of the magnets and stuff. They're pretty cool. But they get you, dude. They hop out on there. Because was that the only time you seen people like that, or was there more like people on the beach? And stuff?
There are people like that on the beach all the time, just walking up and down and asking me, like, "Hey, senor, you like to buy?" And I'm like, "Go away." And he's like, "For your girlfriend, for your mom, for your sister, for your dad, you want to buy something?" I'm like, "No, dude, leave me alone." And then they would just like sit like 15 feet away from me, like waiting. And then they'd like collect. There'd be a group of people collecting.
What about now? No.
Like, "Hey, you still not interested? What about my friend?" And then I'm like, "Oh, fuck, dude. You know what? I'm just going to piss you off." I'm like, "Send your friend over here." And I buy the exact same thing he's got from his friend. No, I didn't do that.
I was like, that's me.
That would be so funny.
Like, you, Shu, you, come here. Vámonos, aquí.
You with the broken leg, get out
Yeah.
of here.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
that'd
didn't
be-
discriminate that way. It was more like what
Like
they
you're
were
too
wearing.
slow when you walked over. It's kind of funny, though. That's what I thought, too, because we were at one place where they're like, yeah, every place here is like a private beach, so, be careful where you go, all that kind of stuff. And in the area we had, it was like a certain tower areas, like where the Airbnb was, and so it was a little bit off, but they supposedly gave you your own sections to go down onto the beach, but it was like basically a public beach because everybody was there. We go down to it, and people just walk all along it, and that's probably exactly
There's
how it was.
no borders.
Yeah, they're just like people. If they're so determined, they're like, "Yeah, I walked 15 miles over here, bitch. You better buy this shit for your girlfriend or someone, you pussy." I don't know who they try and make you buy it for.
That's the only way they can get on the beach is if they like walk from one end of the beach resorts, because there's like 20 resorts spanning that entire Gulf. So they've literally got to start on one end or the other and start walking along the beach and selling stuff.
Yeah. See, at least they like ask you and shit. When I remember when I was in Italy, dude, like straight up, like one guy their scams are instant. Like all of a sudden, like the gypsy came up to me and he like grabbed me and he starts talking to us and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, dang. He's like grabbing my arm. I'm like, whoa, what's up? And he's like, have you ever heard of good luck bands? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, 'cause he's like grabbing my muscles. I'm like, a good luck band. I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, let me see your palm. And I put my hand out and he starts doing a bracelet. Starts looping a bracelet and starts telling me something. And I was like, what is going on? Blah, blah. And he like gets done finishing the bracelet or whatever. And there's a bunch of people doing it. And it happened, they did Paul at the same time, my buddy who I went with. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And the guy's like, gets done doing it. And he's like, all right, yeah, it's €5. And I'm like, I'm not giving you €5. And he's like, €5, but everybody has like coins and stuff. So it's simple and that's a high coin. And I'm like, there's no way, dude. I'm like, you just started doing it and all that stuff. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, to have and stuff like that. And the other guy was like sitting there telling me something. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And then I can like hear Paul. He's like, dude, I'm not. He's like, what the heck? He's like, we're over here. And I'm like, dude, I'm not buying this stuff. And he's like, come on, man. He's like, come on. And I'm like, seriously, dude, I'm not going to. He's like, you just out of nowhere did this kind of stuff. Eventually, I give in because I'm a little bitch. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'll give you $5 for mine and his. And he's like, done, dude. And I gave him money. And I'm like, let's fucking roll, dude. And that's like it was like the almost exact same time. And then Paul was like, let's get out of here. And I was like, dude, you cost me a couple of euros. I'm like, I just gave him $5 to let us go. And he's like, fuck that. I gave that guy, I think he said like, it was either €5 or like €7 or something like that. He's like, I was like, you had to bring out the coins? I was like, yeah. He's like, I only went with only coins or whatever, because he just grabbed him out of his pocket because, they use coins over there. And I was like, fuck, dude, that gypsy scam was on point, dude. And it was like aggressive, dude. So in Mexico, like, at least I remembered that. I'm like, at least they're kind of nice, but did they do anything like that to you?
Well, they have to be because there's resort like security right there.
They have guns.
Yeah, they're
do
just
they really?
AKs, dude, like aiming.
LMGs.
Yeah, right, dude. There's the guard towers and shit, and like there's always little red dots. You
Is
can
there
see
really
them on the
guard
beach.
towers?
Yeah, dude.
Shut the
I'm
fuck
serious, dude.
up. Red dot.
I touched one of
the
the
red
guns,
dot
dude.
scopes.
Yeah, no.
I touched one of the guns. Like he's never touched a gun before. I touched one of the guns.
It's like, yeah,
It
just
wasn't
imagine him like
plastic.
it's almost like dusk, everyone's kind of cleared the beach or whatever, dawn, whatever, I don't know. Sun's going down.
Just red dots
It's almost going down, Admiral just slowly makes his way to the beach. He's just having a long walk on the beach, enjoying himself. Goes to a guard tower, like climbs to the tower where the guy's like, whoa, hey, you can't, senor, you can't be up here. You must go down. And he's like, hey, dude, come here, let me, I'm just not guest here. Can I touch your gun? And the guy's like, whoa, sure. And he like leans down and Admiral's like, gives it a couple pets.
Snag it out of it. It's up. No, but
Out, everybody run!
He's like,
no, but what happens is like I walk down on the beach, at night. I'm like, I'm gonna take a long walk on the beach, so that way on my freaking Tinder profile I can post like I like long walks on the beach, and it won't be a fucking lie like everybody else.
yeah. Like, that was enjoyable.
15 minutes later, you're like, God damn, this is stupid. He's sweating. It's like
No, it's actually
too
really
hot.
nice, dude.
I will not
As
be
soon as
adding
you
this
walk
on the
out,
profile.
Yeah, I
every
fucking hate
resort you walk by, the spotlight like whoosh, highlights you and follows you across their resort lines.
Someone come hands you a mic.
Yeah,
You're like, God damn it.
I will survive. No,
But yeah,
but
karaoke.
seriously. Seriously though, there are security guards there. They're like little shacks along the thing, and the resort you had like a little rope running around where people weren't allowed to cross onto that side of the beach. They could walk around on the other side of the rope,
There's, like,
but they
pacing.
couldn't come to you
Through like
unless
12
you,
feet of water, huh?
No.
As far as it goes deep into the water, like, hey, I went around the rope.
He's like
I went around
floating.
it.
He's like floating with the pack over his head. Hey,
You guys want to buy something?
oh, I could easily see that, or you could just hear something.
Dedication.
No,
These
but
little tiny boats. It's like, up in there. ¿Qué pasó? And it's like,
With a
everyone's like,
little
what the hell?
taco making fucking facility on it.
No,
No,
which I
but-
think they should do.
that was pretty nice. So they wouldn't cross the line unless you called them over, or if they were like, "Hey, you want to buy something?" And if you said no, they wouldn't come near you. So they'd stay on the other side of the rope. There were hotel security dudes that would patrol the beach, and they'd be there
Be like,
walking
shouts
around.
back up.
Yeah, he's like, "Back the fuck up!"
Because it's like a whole thing of resorts, huh?
Yeah, because it's just one after the other.
Are you like the first resort, or were you like, or is there a few
Somewhere in the middle. I was at the Hard Rock.
right in the middle? Hard Rock.
Was there a lot of people?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. The thing is like what a lot of people do is they walked up and they walked into other resorts. The only thing that sucks is like you have armbands that tell you which resort you're from. You can leave one resort and go hang out with people at another resort, but you just can't get drinks and shit from that other resort. You have to go back to yours.
You can't buy them?
You can, but there's no point in doing that when you get free drinks at yours. You could just take your drink somewhere else and hang out with those people over there.
I guess being at Hard Rock, what else was there? So right next to you, could you just go out to the beach, or could you just kind of go through?
You could
lobbies
literally walk out the front door and do whatever you want.
and then walk to the next resort?
No,
There's like
no,
Resort Island or something.
So
Was there
it's
resort
like-
gangs?
basically, it's like in a big
Back
old
off,
fenced-in
Israel.
community. Like everything outside is like super nice, and there's grass and shit growing. And then on the opposite end of the community, like gate, it's electric fence too, which is weird. Like it looked like Jurassic Park or some shit, dude.
That's
Like
tight.
they're trying to keep the raptors out. But yeah, then the bus would drive you out, and literally as soon as you cross that resort line, dead. Everything just woof. It looked like a scourge happened there.
Warzone or something.
That's pretty tight, dude.
Pretty interesting. It is interesting even from the area when we were at the city and we did a thing where we went into more towards like Guadalajara, I guess, into the mountains and stuff. And when you drive in there, it's 45 minutes or like an hour. And you start seeing a lot of the countryside. It's interesting. Yeah, it gets different and stuff. That's what I was always kind of curious. Like how far the resorts, because they go way down further around that, what was it? Like the
A lot of
arc of the
plywood
beach.
houses.
Some, I guess a lot of that and like, I don't know, I guess a lot of concrete and stuff like that too, but it's a lot of smaller,
Yeah.
definitely much smaller. But I was like, damn. It's
I
pretty
would have
interesting.
much rather liked to see like real Mexico, not the
I can show you real Mexico, dude.
keep your pants on, dude. No, like I didn't want to be on that Americanized. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like when we were driving from the resort to the airport was more like what the real thing was, and it was a lot cooler looking.
Oh, yeah.
Even though everything looked like the sun was beating the shit out of it.
Well, that's a hard thing to experience. That's why, like, when we got to go to visit your family and stuff like that in Bosnia, that's like a crazy experience because you do get to go see a lot of the sightseeing, but you kind of get like more of an insider's feel. Because
Vice.
yeah, because even when you go to, like, when I went to Puerto Vallarta and we just stayed normally in the city and not on the resort, even a lot of the stuff that the place that we stayed at, if they were anywhere offering any type of thing was.
It was for outsiders.
Yeah, or like some form of touristy thing. Oh, let's go ziplining. Let's go riding four wheelers in the thing, or beach tour, or go swim with the dolphins. You know, so it's like that same stuff almost. And I noticed that too when I did my first Euro trip when I was like younger, because we were hitting a lot of the cities, and even though we went to all these crazy cities, everything felt the same. It was like a city, even though we were only there for a few days. And anytime you wanted to go do something like. That's what was funny about Switzerland. It was Switzerland. They're like, we're the adventure capital of the world. Showed them rafting and parachuting and doing stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, you can do that in Utah in any climate. I'm like, only here you do it only in the mountains. You can do that here in Salt Lake in the mountains. You can do it in the desert. You can do it in the red desert. You know, you can do it over freaking huge lakes. You can do it over dead lakes. It's crazy. And But it seems to be the same thing almost no matter where you go. Even
Yeah, that's true.
it's hard to get that real life experience. Like back in the day when you had to probably fucking caravan over there, I imagine, and then talk to the barter who was going to push you across the river, maybe ferry you down the river, and they live there the whole time. And they're not speaking in your language, and you're getting more in the culture. The only food you're getting is the food they have. You can't like sneak away and get a comfort food or something. That shit's like almost gone now. That's why it's funny because sometimes I hear it being kind of called like, because I feel it is like Americanized and stuff. But even then, even with a lot of that stuff, it's so much like British culture, American culture, especially even now with like a lot of like Spanish culture, but more like Spain, so Euro, French, a lot of that kind of crap. When you go over there, it's all mixed into one giant kind of pop culture, I guess, is just throughout all of Europe. And so it's kind of funny because everyone's like kind of the same still, but like different.
That's like my main reason for wanting to learn Japanese is because when I go over there, I don't want that stereotypical, like, this is what you want to do, you know what I mean, to experience this place. I want to be like, I want to go over there, like, into a district that no tourists go, because that's the real, like,
You want to get chopped up by the Yakuza?
Who said chopped up?
Next thing you know,
Yeah,
Edward
like
comes
joint.
back with a face tattoo and
No, I come
That'll
out
be
with
a
a full
back
body
one.
tattoo.
Yeah,
It's like from wrists to the top of my neck.
Shit.
I'm like, what up, motherfuckers?
That'd be so crazy. That'd be
konnichiwa, bitches.
Konnichiwa, motherfucker.
Yeah, even then, how long do you think until we all kind of mesh into one type of culture, even one
Probably
more
another
type of
1,000
language?
years.
Once the
If it
aliens come.
each other up.
continues at this rate.
Once we get all the motors on the edges of each coast specifically perfectly aligned, and then we form Pangea again.
We need some kind of unity. But I don't even know.
Pangea and a lot of caulking.
dude, I give China mad respect, dude. They're holding their own, dude. There's a lot of people over there, in China and India,
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
like that. If
Chindia.
all I'm thinking is like, there's so many people over there. If we created Pangea, that would just be a hand grenade on everything, dude. There'd be people
now
everywhere.
everything's
Well,
covered.
apparently, everybody can live, and all the people in the world could live in Texas if they all had like the same size house or something like that.
What?
Yeah, all the world's population.
Bullshit, dude.
That's just the statistic I heard.
I heard that too. Everybody in the world could, if we literally paved
Where
over
did you
Texas.
hear that?
I don't
Fucking
know.
CNN.
I actually heard it on a podcast, and then they like listened to it again. But
If they like paved over Texas and they built houses and supermarkets for everyone to be able to reach, that we could all actually live in Texas.
Why don't we all try it?
Because
be
I would
oh my
not
God, dude.
do that.
Texas is so
I get,
long,
like the tip top left piece.
dude. that
Dude,
shit
I'd like
is
to
so
live on
long.
the edge.
And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna
Fuck
take
yeah.
a day off. See you guys.
Say you're in Dallas, dude.
Driving
Walk to
hours.
Idaho.
Think about that. Say you're in Dallas. You're right in the center of it. Dude, from El Paso, when I went to El Paso, because we were thinking about that, I'm like, dude, if anything, let's go check out Austin or something. Dallas and Austin are maybe like 2-3 hours apart. It was like 8 hours or 6 hours to even get over to Dallas and Austin. I was like, what? And then from there, 6 hours, 7 hours to get across that. I'm like, holy shit, Texas is just like...
I think it's 12. Isn't it a day to drive across Texas?
Oh yeah,
or
if
something like
you were to go, it would take all day. It takes 24 hours for the guy we were with to drive from there to South Carolina.
Think of how fucking crazy they were when they were drawing up the borders back in the day.
Nope, not far enough. Keep walking, boy.
Keep walking. I want 1 month of walking land. Excuse me?
Do you remember the Alamo, boy? Keep walking.
Oh, God, no. Is this far enough? Keep walking.
Dude, it was probably like, when was the last time you talked to Mark over there in El Paso? Last month. And he was on board with me, and so he's with us. All right. And that's fucking it, because... Well, I
Yeah.
guess with the Pony Express, right? You were talking about it. They like just every little stop at a fresh horse. We need a fresh horse and a drink and a woman for the night.
Puts a penny down.
Takes off.
Not even a penny back then.
Shit, half a penny.
Yeah.
Fucking
A
chip,
quarter penny.
chip of a big penny.
That's true. They probably just use towns as borders. Like, down in El Paso, that's going to be a corner of Texas over here.
I wonder.
Doesn't El Paso stand for, or El Paso mean enter?
The pass.
The pass?
It would make sense for the Passover. Is it the pass?
El Paso.
Because it really does look like it. It's got a split right there, right in the middle, where you kind of like the freeway even splits it, and even where the cities kind of meet, right in the middle, there's like a split of the mountain ways. So basically, if you're going up in there, if you're going out towards maybe Arizona-ish more, there's a split, and then maybe if you're going more in towards like the out.
That's pretty cool. So they built a town there and named it the Pass. So it's like
I'm surprised it might as well just be one massive town, dude. Because the border, you get right to the border, is this huge fence, and their town is like right up to the border, and like all the houses and city and streets is right up to the fence. The American side's just like a huge space, basically like a dirt road, an empty area, and like the fence. I'm like, but it's all basically right there. You can see everything. They each has a monument.
Can you
one
yell at
monument.
them?
Yeah,
Did you yell at them?
Yeah, they tossed me stuff, dude.
For real?
Chiclets
They're
and
like,
stuff.
hey, senor, would you like to buy something?
No, it's like a prison wall, dude. It's just big old bars and stuff.
Oh, man.
But no, we didn't even go over there.
you
We
reach
just
your
seen it
end
because
cap
we
in
went
there?
driving by the freeway, and you see it basically right off the freeway because it's also at least the way we were passing because it's pretty much right on the freeway. And so I was like, oh man, this is pretty crazy. And we did drive down on the streets and stuff and like look at it a little bit, but we didn't really hang out. But over there, you can see on there where it says, something something Babala Leah, where it's like the Bible is the truth, Lalia or something. And down on the American side, it's like a big old glowing star. It's like, all right, here, but really I feel like that border should, if it really, in all honesty, if it would like just be gone, like that would make sense. That's how that city would remind me. Because a lot of the workers there, they would usually travel an hour or so shit through the border, waiting to go through the border every day to come work in El Paso. And I'm like, damn, dude. It's like just because of a little fence or a little border or some shit, it's kind of funny, dude. Because it kind of blows my mind. But
What else do they have over there, you know what I mean?
over in
El Paso. It's like, we're the protectors of the border.
yeah, almost honestly, dude. It's like basically
That's it.
nothing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because like the guys are so cool, dude, and they make hella money. It's like basically like double. They like basically come over and do their work, and it's like working double the time because the money they can take it back over and it doubles over there basically. So they love it, and they even try and sell stuff on the side. And I was even thinking about it too, because there was guys that was like selling wood and stuff. I think I was like talking with you about it, and he sells all the top wood and the different stuff for it. And this guy lives in Mexico, and he brings it over the border and was selling it over here, and so you can get it for like a little bit more than half price basly from
What do you
him.
mean top wood?
Top wood for all the finished wood and finished borderings and stuff like that. We use for like all the like nice smooth little handrails and stuff, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's already cut down and kind of milled down into flat little soft pieces of wood, and he brings it by sheets or whatever. And you can buy it there from him compared to Home Depot or whatever for just a little bit more than half price from theirs. And he'll bring it over the border, and basically for him, he gets it for dirt cheap over there, and when he brings it over and then comes back, it's like double the price. So for me, even though he's like not bringing drugs over and stuff, technically, I'm like, dude, he's like legally trafficking because he brings it over, it's like doubles the price,
And then he just takes the money back. And
yeah, and and then he does it with a bunch of different stuff that he does down there. He farms a bunch of different things, and he was showing us pictures of his properties and stuff. And that's just how it is in Mexico. Either you're super rich or usually super poor. And fucking A, man.
You just got to pay the right people.
Yeah, so I was
Make
like,
sure your
damn,
shit don't
dude.
get taken.
Yeah.
He's doing like trims and different
Fucking
things.
some random dude in a suit shows up in your front yard. You go out there and give him some cash. He
Yeah,
won't
they're
return
probably-
with his buddies
they
and
probably like
kill
you,
your
though.
family
They're, like,
in front
working
of you,
together.
and then
Well, that's the
let
worst part, though, is why do you got to live in a place like that? You know what I mean? Like some thug shows up, dude. There's only one way to take care of that.
Shit, the government could do that, dude.
It's the exact same thing. It's a form of government, right?
Yeah, they could do it. The government kind of
Yeah,
does it.
but there you've got
You don't
the
pay your
government.
taxes, you're gonna get ass raped, dude.
Yeah, but there you got the government and the dudes that are taking your money.
Dude, have you seen those new practices they're doing in the cities or whatever, where they're shutting off all the lights, and then they're having the guards go up to your house, and then I guess turn off the power, and then they go up to the house and be like, "What? How are you? Are you conditioned right? What do you have? How are you stocked and supplied?" And so it's like a test run for in case the power grid goes out. And
Where at?
they're doing it in Wisconsin right now, but I think they're going to do it in more places. But they have a bunch of different.
Better not
companies
knock
and
on
stuff.
my door.
Should think about that. How
Send
many
12
guns you
gauge.
got? Okay.
Send buckshot
5,
through your
6, 7,
face.
okay. How much supplies? Okay. Well, you only can last for 7 days. Okay, perfect. Okay. They shut that grid down. Most people don't even have a 30-day food supply. I don't know if that's a fact, but I feel like it isn't. Because I remember when we were helping a couple of people move, and they actually had a 30-day food supply. It was quite a bit of cans. Quite a bit
Dude,
of...
it is a lot. Like,
It's
think
quite a
about
bit of
how
food,
much
and I'm
you
like,
could
damn,
eat a
dude.
day.
Yeah, it really was like even after I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, you know, my grandma and my mom, they have little food storages, and theirs, because I was like, oh, at least you can go there, you know, and I'm like, damn, theirs isn't even big enough, really, you know. You actually, and it's a weird thing too, is because they do kind of not go bad, but I think we were talking about it before, where we were talking about like having to like kind of cycle your seeds and your food that you stock in like the go bags and stuff. It's like the same with your food thing, you know. You almost have to cycle it all the way down and through, and it's crazy. It's quite a bit of cans. I was like,
it's a job.
And the worst part is like that Bill Burr joke where he's like, I don't want to make a garden and all that kind of stuff because all I'm doing is just, you know, doing this for like the biggest badass on the street. You know, he's like, I could like have this whole garden, and all of a sudden some like big old fucking, you know, He-Man could come down the street with his axe and be like, just kill him, take all the veggies and shit. My family will eat tonight. It's like, oh shit, you know, because that's the worst part. Is I feel like eventually it'll be fine. You know, I feel like it'll be fine, but I feel definitely at first or certain points of it, will probably.
I think it'd become the road, dude.
I think it will be. I think it'll be a lot like the road until it gets down to where there's almost nobody, and then we're like, no, we have to help each other, blah blah. And then
even then, though, dude, people are so backstabby. I wouldn't.
Damn,
I've
so
played
crazy.
enough DayZ in my life to know that
Yeah.
you give a man a loaded gun, as soon as you go to eat a can of peaches, he's gonna fucking put one in your face.
I feel like the hardest part is going to be the kids. Like if there's a
out
pack
him
of
with the kid,
wolves,
that's
you know,
crazy.
and there's just
gotta
like
leave 'em.
you got a couple of kids with you, you're like, I could run a lot faster than you guys. Bye.
Vibe.
that'd be so crazy. That'd be horrible. The pack, they'd probably keep coming, and so they'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm coming after you." Because yeah, that stuff is kind of interesting.
A lot.
It's interesting scenarios and stuff. And then even I was listening to different. The psychologist was talking about people that often that are like preppers or whatever tend to be more psychotic.
Preppers?
Yeah, they tend to have more what do they call that? Psychopathic tendencies. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting, you know. They think that they will act on them once it actually comes because of a shutdown and be like, oh man, oh, it's finally here.
You know what I think is weird is you can't catch rainwater. It's
Yeah, you
illegal. It's illegal to catch rainwater.
Where at? What do you mean?
Utah. You're not allowed to catch rainwater and store it.
Test it?
You can't keep that shit, dude.
Have you tested it?
What?
Your theory of not catching rainwater?
I don't see what they say.
It's like something with collecting water. You're not allowed to do it.
I know they did that with a lot of the resources. Actually, now you're saying that because I remember when I was doing electrical work in that period of 5 years or whatever, when I first started, a few of the guys that I worked with were talking about setting up windmills and solar panels and stuff. And at the time, it wasn't as popular. Solar panels we kind of were like, oh yeah, and so we learned it a little bit, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But they're like, damn, dude, if you do this and you get off the grid, you know, they will have to pay you and stuff. If you pull money off or put money back on the grid, you'll start getting either bonus checks or whatever. And in that time period, they switched to where all of a sudden it switched to like a credit where whatever you put back in, then all of a sudden now you get, you know, if it was,
So
I put back $10, you get $10.
You're using the energy, you're making the energy?
Yeah, and so you get a credit, and so say you add up like $600, and then you don't use your solar panel or windmill, and then Christmas comes and you put in a bunch of extra Christmas lights, you can not have to pay because they already owe you credits.
Yeah.
And then I think now, as far as after you were talking, I think they even far as went to you just don't pay. If you create your own, you won't pull any money off, and that's just it. They don't. That's it. You can't do anything. If you put anything back on the grid, thank you, you know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's anything. Like
no credits?
Like kind of with a lot of the energy stuff where it was like kind of reusable energy.
There's like taxable shit, right?
Yeah, I think there's some form of they want taxes on that. You know, they want some shit like that. But I mean, it's just because a lot of people want to get paid. It's that Nestle guy who wants to charge everybody for water, you know? He thinks that water is a human right. Someone's got to go get the water. Someone's got to go out there and pull it out, you know? So someone has to pay for that, which is fucking crazy because...
I understand buying bottled water because you're paying for the bottles.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That. But paying for water that's coming out of your tap, we still pay for that.
Yeah, it's like in our taxes and stuff like that. That's why we joined this fucking circus called society, you know?
Yeah. But the thing is, it's so cheap, like coming out of your tap, you could just sit there and drink water all day. You're not going to you don't have to take a bucket to a river or anything.
That's what's funny too. People I was in that for a minute. They're putting stuff in the water, man. And then like taking a sip of my water bottle. instead of them prepackaging it, in the water bottle. And dude, we can't get everyone to drink water anyways, and they think the tap tastes funny. Well, let's just fucking put it in a bottle, and then we can like charge them $1, and then they'll drink it, and then we'll know they have it, and they're like, no one will buy that shit.
That's the best thing is that like at my house we put in like one of those big old charcoal filter things.
Oh yeah.
It's like a double filter thing, and I'm drinking out of that, and someone's like, "Why are you drinking that water? You know that water's got what's that shit they say it's in it?
Fluoride.
Formaldehyde.
Fluoride.
Formaldehyde.
It's fluoride.
I don't know.
It's fluoride.
Formaldehyde, dude.
It's fluoride.
Hydrogen monoxide.
It's not. It's definitely not that. Fluoride. They say they put in there to help your teeth or whatever to
I
help.
think hydrogen monoxide isn't that water?
Yeah, we also have those for when like your furnace or something, right? Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Monoxide. Is it dihydrogen? One of them is like water. It's like I'm not allowed to drink water. But someone's like, yeah, it got fluoride in there, and it ruins your brain and makes you retarded or something. I'm like, damn, dude, no wonder. No fucking wonder.
Yeah, well,
I get so angry on the fucking freeway.
it's this fucking water bottle. Especially when you're drinking it in the hot sun and the bottle's getting more melted plastic in there.
Dude, it's the best. You got to stir it real good, get it in there. You don't want the particles floating on the bottom.
There is something definitely weird, because remember even that time when we were in Bosnia and stuff, it's funny because I have the weirdest diet. Even when I eat healthy and stuff, I kind of feel like I'm somewhat doing pretty good. But when I was eating different like sustainable foods over there, where it was just kind of where you go to the place and they each kind of have their own thing and you buy it from them.
Yeah.
Dude, I even got fat on my face, dude. That was like crazy. Like I felt actually like pretty good for that period of time, which is weird. I'm not sure if it was just also we were eating like fucking.
Were you eating a lot, or was
4
it
or
just
5 eggs a day?
We weren't eating like anything crazy.
It actually wasn't really.
Nothing really crazy. But the eggs, though, dude. Like, I remember having an egg over there, fresh from, like, a market that was, like, laid the day before. And the egg yolk was
bright
almost
yellow.
red, dude. No, It was, like, red.
Oh.
So good.
Gross.
Being so dark, I do like it when it's more dark like that.
Yeah. That means it's a healthier chicken.
No, it doesn't,
Yeah,
dude.
it does, dude.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
If it's grass-fed, it's good.
If it's eating little worms...
And that's a good little animal to have right there if you were going to do like some kind of prepping.
Except chickens have a shelf life, dude.
What do you mean? Like,
They can only lay so many eggs,
and then you eat that motherfucker.
and then you eat the motherfucker.
Thank you, Bertha. You've been so good to me.
Turn them into chicken noodle soup.
Then you really got to manage that pretty good. Then if you have like a rooster, you kind of got to like make sure you have some babies, because say it died or something, or like maybe it didn't have enough boy roosters or some shit, and then it died, and you're like, fuck.
Well, you'd have to know how. I think it's 1 year, right, or something, before they can start laying eggs. But you got to figure out like what the lifespan is before a hen starts laying eggs, and then you just let a rooster roam the fucking herd, get a bunch of little chickens running around, throw the rooster back in his own little solo pen. Then when those ones grow up, the old ones run out of eggs. Boom, you got a bunch of chicken noodle soup for the wintertime. You got a bunch of fresh ones growing up for the springtime. By the time they're grown up, boom, you got another season of eggs, dude. You just got to keep that cycle going.
Unless that thing's crowing every day, and all the other animals are like, what's that? Foxes, coyotes start closing in. Other people. What's that noise?
Then you got to learn how to cook fox.
Like, you know, you're missing a few chickens.
Oh, are you
You're
talking
what
about like
the
an
fuck?
apocalypse and people are like, ooh, I heard a rooster, so they'll come towards you?
Do you think they would?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, they would. You got to
would.
keep that rooster on lock, dude.
Or do you like use it for like a trick? It's just out there on a little chain, a small chain on its little foot, and it's just out there walking around. People run up there. I heard it. There it is.
Dropping people with your Winnie.
You're freaking in like a ghillie suit and stuff.
You walk out there, pick up your rooster. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, they say you go crazy if you don't keep a hobby.
You don't keep.
Let's go, buddy. It's like the chicken's like the rooster's your best friend out there, and like you just kill people out there.
You don't even scavenge. You just walk away.
People learn to like
like, holy
fear the
shit.
rooster. They're like, you don't want to go towards the rooster. Yeah. Lightning strikes.
I think they call him El Diablo. What's that mean? It's like a fighting chicken.
He's killed everybody. No, it's called dihydrogen monoxide.
What is it?
It's
What is
water.
It? Okay.
That's like the chemical term for water. It's dihydrogen monoxide.
Dihydrogen monoxide. Is that what is H2O?
Yeah.
So H2O.
So there might be H2O inside of your water. That's why you're afraid of drinking the water.
I don't want to get that hydrogen monoxide in my system.
It's like fucking, what the fuck is it called? Bubba Boy when he's like, what does he say? You ain't got no immunities. What the hell are immunities?
Yeah.
And they all fucking take off running the fucking stupid asses in the bar.
That's just kind of interesting because do you think that they put shit in the water? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Put
a lot of shit
Don't
in
they
the water.
put like a chlorine tab in the water?
I put a lot of chemicals in the water. When I was working at the water treatment plant, they'd drop a bunch of shit in there. They do a chlorine thing, and then they also do like a charcoal filter. And that's really like, other than what they chemically add into it, and then some of the filter system, I guess like it's like a chlorine one.
Yeah.
They just use like a weird charcoal filter. It's like, and that kind of gets out the particulates. They really don't do much besides whatever the hell is put in there.
They do a decent amount, but the amount of chemicals that are put into the water is...
It was the same thing like with, I think I was talking to you about.
It gives it flavor, dude. You ever get that gritty feel on your teeth?
Well, it's like
the chemicals.
Talking like with the chemtrails or whatever.
Chemtrails.
But like, yeah, this one's a chemtrail, this one's that or whatever. First off, but what's inside of a freaking jet fuel anyways? What's inside jet fuel?
Jet fuel.
Hydrogen monoxide.
Aluminum.
We have no idea,
It's
dude.
aluminum.
The chemtrail chemicals be inside just regular jet fuel. And for all we know, it's just fine. That's just a plane. It's jet fuel. It's flying.
See,
it's dumping your chemicals the same way they used to do with lead, dude. We didn't know anything was all bad until our kids started coming like autistic, and then they had ADHD and being all weird, and then they're like, "Oh fuck, we need to take lead out of the gas."
Bad. It makes people
dude,
faster. And
you can't
smarter.
be fit in our society with some kind of freaking tick that makes you want to get outside the manufacturing line.
Yeah, if you can't raise
you need
your
to
shield.
be so
Yeah.
Off the
You need to keep your mind
Raise a
trained.
shield.
Yeah, you need to. How's that North Korean thing where you
Three generations of...
Dumbi Ufao.
they keep
3 generations
please
of
don't talk to my
torture?
mother like that. Yeah, no, you have to keep a population like sick and tired, kind of like hungry and stuff to kind of help do that kind of that legion, that dominance legion. Because someone was like saying there's some weird. They have a plan for they know what he's doing. It's like just like a cycle that they do. That North Korea does. They create like some kind of interaction, and they pull away, and then it creates kind of a sustainable belief with the people that are already there. Because just any way they can kind of prevent revolt.
That makes sense. What I was going to say about the chemtrails, though, is what if...
But you keep the wolves hungry, and eventually they're going to bite.
Yeah.
What if the condensation trails, people are just using them as a visual aid to show you where the jet fuel is actually falling down from the sky?
It doesn't matter, dude. It's just what they choose. Do you think that's a condensation trail? But that one right there, that one is a chemtrail. And this one I can tell is this. And it's like, who the fuck are you? What do you do?
Yeah, mad scientist.
I look at this stuff all day. Like,
I've seen
What
a
do you
lot
do
of
for a
rocks.
living? Janitor at a local
well, for me, I want to be like, dude, name
Actually,
one
janitors for local
name one or
hospitals
two
probably
layers
smart.
inside the atmosphere. Name one or two of the 9 layers. Tell me where that plane is in there. What kind of plane it is. What is going on.
Brick,
You can do that with anything, dude. Some fucking smart ass just be like, you look through glass all day. Tell me the 5 main molecular structures of glass to make glass.
Sand
Lead.
and some.
Wrong. You're wrong.
No, it's lead. Everything
dead.
is lead, dude. You obviously haven't lived long enough.
And hydrogen. We have to have hydrogen. I imagine
The
That's
hydrogen monoxide is in our water.
It's pretty popular. That's a popular freaking element in our world, I guess.
The hydrogen monoxide is everywhere, and it's killing people every year. There are people...
Drowning to death.
It's not helping!
Isn't that what H2O? Right. So what is it? H? The hydrogen? Is that right?
Yeah.
So 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen.
Did you guys hear about the HARP program?
Yeah,
Where
dude.
they're-
Come on.
Dude, they're going to start creating things above our heads that are going to drop dihydrogen monoxide on our heads.
Rain?
Literal...
They already do. They do it once a week in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
All the rich people chip in for that shit.
What is it?
They create like rain clouds. People, that's like in Saudi Arabia. That's one thing that they do because they don't get enough rain, and so there's like some kind of program that they have where they make it once a week. It'll rain.
That's cool.
I wish it'd rain here once a week.
Science.
Then we'd feel like we lived in Washington.
That's a weird thing. That's a weird crossover. That's why I heard one of the who's that, Michio Kaku or whatever, that scientist was like talking about the different stages of kind of, because anybody like if NASA or Elon Musk, they were to go up all of a sudden, go up there and put a bunch of satellites out that all of a sudden had guns.
I love how the
He would
comparisons
control
always
that shit,
either
dude.
huge freaking government-funded NASA or Elon Musk.
It has to
You
be
know?
it has to be someone. dude.
Ellen?
Elliot,
It's like Ellen
Elliot,
DeGeneres.
or
It's like,
whoever.
I'm going to be
It's just
launching my
one
rocket
guy,
into space.
You know? I love
Because
the
you definitely
comparison.
won't be hearing like, dude, Brick Anderson is flying a plane
You
or his
never
little
know,
rocket
dude.
ship. I wouldn't have the funding,
Sky
or the,
rockets in flight.
and you wouldn't be able to. I couldn't get some like rocket scientist to work for me for like pennies on the dollar. So like
Fucking dude,
people that got the money, they're bought and sold, dude.
go fuck
Everyone's got a price, and so like the guy's like, I don't know how to make us. I'm not going to work with these people. They're Nazis. I can't make a rocket ship with you. What if I give you this house? Oh man,
It's a nice house.
it also comes with that yacht out back. Those 4 bitches over there. And what's like that's the guy. He's like, it's 12. It's you got a 12-car garage with 6 cars. It's like fucking that rock, whatever rocks. You have space for more, so it's up to you. And the guy's like, oh, fuck. So what kind of rocket? Just one rocket? Yeah, man, just one rocket, dude. It's
That's
like,
it.
next thing you know. Then we're over here, hitting potholes. Why does this fucking road suck? Where do my goddamn tax dollars go? Fucking that scientist is like balling and freaking there in space, creating a world order. Because all you really need, or at least
I'd
what,
be a stormtrooper.
that's what that Michio Kaku says about like
like, fuck
space.
yeah.
That's all you
I
need.
would shoot like one.
Yeah.
Like the person that first controls space or controls atmospheres, or the person that controls the weather. So if someone can control the weather on their planet and then first control like getting into Earth out of their planet's orbit, can control that. That is moving to the next level of planetary, I guess, civilization or
Dude,
society.
imagine if you could do that and control the weather.
I hope they finally get to control the weather like some rich asshole, and then right before he does that, everybody decides, let's get off this planet.
That's like stage 2, dude. And think about it. Star Wars is in like stage 5 or 6, where they're that far intergalactical. Whereas like Star Trek they're still kind of floating around. They're like dimension, or like they're in Space Society 4 or something like that. So barely getting into 2, dude. We're like, dude, pretty soon like 2 and 3, we're like that show where they're trying to find a fucking planet to live on. Where we're like still like, we're gonna find something that isn't gonna kill us. You know,
Lost
that's a
in
make
Space?
or break, pretty much. Lost in Space, or what is that other show with?
Battlestar Galactica?
Is it Interstellar? Interstellar, where they have to go
Interstellar?
find that planet or like
yeah.
the other planet.
Murph.
That's like 2. That's like
Murph.
2 or 3 right there. Yeah,
I love
so
that
it's like,
movie.
fuck, dude.
Murph.
I feel like we, have a long way to go, and unfortunately, someone that were to be the first person to kind of control some shit like that, at least the first entrance into it, or can minimize the cost of it becoming.
Hopefully
millions
we
of dollars.
Going to space.
That way, no, hopefully we don't find that, because then we wouldn't have to go to space, right?
I would like to if we could go up and come
I'd
back
rather
down.
go to space than...
Then I'd believe it too, because that's what I was even arguing with someone about, like the moon landing. It was actually.
Because that's the
The
problem
old
with
snowman.
Interstellar, right? Is that the fucking everything's drying out. Fucking you can't grow anything.
There's like plagues or some shit going on and eating all the plants or something, and the world's too hot.
Not
Yeah, a
enough
lot of
rain.
stuff. What I heard is interesting. Like that's why a lot of people, at least they talk about like Anunnaki and all that. That 9th or 10th planet they come around, and like supposedly there are creators. That was like that whole Prometheus thing, and then they made they put their seed inside these creatures, which was us.
Their seed inside of it.
Yeah, which we were the ape. It was like a form of an ape. They put the seed in, and that seed, which was also in our rapid growth. People like, at least that's what the Sumerians, our earliest records that we know of people, that's what they believe happened. And so they're like, yeah, they're coming here, blah blah. But that's one thing that people think is also a plus, is that for some reason, whatever primate that they put inside of us, we are now more like capable of living in other places because we can live a lot closer to certain stars, whereas certain people, like I guess as if it was the Anunnaki, because of whatever's in their atmosphere, you could say, they can't handle
Oxygen.
that. No, it's something like some kind of some weird nitrogen or some shit, dude.
The hydrogen monoxide.
It's something that is used to
in the water.
filter with gold or something like that.
Oh shit.
And that's why like they believe that we have like a weird unanimous understanding of gold.
And
like
that's why,
gold's valuable.
that's why
for
we
some
have
reason.
the currency system. That's why we stopped
With the
trading
gold
sheep.
standard.
We started trading gold
It's in the
because
gold
the rich
standard.
already had all the sheep, but they didn't have the gold.
Nope.
Till the Mexican farmer came all the way from
Yep.
Mexico straight to China, dude.
And he sold it for half price.
Hell yeah, because we're special little humans, dude.
But he couldn't cross the
We got
border,
like
so he's
that.
like, "Hey, Jong Won Pak,
And we're on a
Come here.
special border. We're close. We got like other little planets we can hop on. Other people can't, dude.
That's true.
It's word on the streets of space. So for whatever little parasite that they the guy came in and like, I have to, baby, I have to inseminate you to make life go on for the next. And it's like, and it's like, fucking, let's get it on. And
Imagine that embarrassing moment. He's like, and the whole time he's just thinking, you know what? There's going to be people coming from this. Just think about that.
Yeah. I imagine of it either maybe similar to Incredibad, that one Lonely Island thing, where the alien comes and has the three boys like he basically like rapes them, whatever. First he like gets them drunk, and then he says he needs to collect their seed to help promote life on his planet. And they're like, "Wait, all at once?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I was thinking." It's like kind of funny, but
Let's get you boys drinking.
yeah, it's like collecting the seed or whatever. But you know, you never know. Yeah,
Here's a weird thought.
Uh-oh.
Why is Tornado Alley right on the Bible Belt? Is that like a sign? Like these people are wrong, or that they're just ignorant?
depends, dude. Have you seen the Ark or whatever?
Yeah.
The Ark
Thought,
they
why
built?
would you rebuild your house when it got hit by a tornado?
Because it's a sign, Brian.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
This means you need to start again. And they're like, I'm going to start anew. What are you going to build right here? Another trailer. Or whatever the heck they were. What are you going to put in it? My same stuff. I really like I love Lucy trinkets. And I really love the Precious Moments trinkets. I have those all over my house again. And for some reason, I've always liked clowns. And then fucking husband's just like, yeah, I watch NASCAR. Fucking dead inside, you know? Because he just fucking, he focuses only on the tube because everything around him is fucking Precious Moments and fucking, I don't even know what. I don't even
No,
want to stay away from that lifestyle. But
No, you don't.
if it's
You're already
survival,
halfway there. You got all the trinkets
Yep.
in your car.
Yep.
Now you just need a trailer.
it's all, my trinkets are little homies. They're like
Hell yeah.
a bunch of little, remember those little homies or whatever? The little fucking things you put in there to get the coins.
Collect all 36.
Have them all glued to my dashboard in the back of the, I guess they don't have like a back window
All
thing.
36
Glued
million.
into the back of my car. It's like,
Back your station wagon.
hey, I seen some dude with hella lost money on him. He was like buying a shitload, making hella money off them. And they like pretty much doubled up and put
The
a bunch more
homies?
out. Yeah, the homies. And then no one wanted them anymore. And he's like, oh. And he had homies machines all over.
Which ones are homies? Are they the ones?
They're the little weird, like little plastic hard
Little
toys and
Mexicans.
stuff. Little hard little, and they're little standards. These ones like fucking got a beanie over. The other one's got like a dog. One's got like,
You had Baby Joker.
yeah, everyone's like little mama, and it's like fucking people or whatever. 'Cause remember back in the day, dude, you had to, you could run down to the store with fucking $1 and like, you know, 25 cents will get you a pop, and another 25 cents will get you a homie's doll, and you could
50
pay the
cents.
homeless guy 50 cents to
dude.
punch the other homeless cat.
Yeah. Or you can try to get your favorite NFL sticker helmet,
Yeah, I used to always
and you
get
never
like
get
that.
it. You'd always get the
weird ass
Detroit
shit.
fucking Lions.
I'd get weird at, and it was funny too because you get the little piece of cardboard. A lot of, or I guess it started turning into whatever trading card was at the time. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff. Pumps out that little cardboard thing. You like flip it open. Basically, just want to. I don't know. Yeah, it's like the wrong team or the wrong card.
Yeah.
Just, all
Jigglypuff.
right. They really need to put a trash can right here just for convenience.
I do remember that, and they'd have like all the fancy cards in the little
Let's stick it on the fucking
I
machine.
could get that.
Yeah, I could get a Charizard, a Mewtwo, a Mew. I'm gonna open this one that I just bought. Diglett.
Yeah, there it is. Wait,
All right.
top. They probably just dig those back out, fill back in the old ones or whatever. Dude, I'm running out of these Diglets, dude.
I remember one time we found out that you can flip the thing really quick and get a lot of candy. Me and my brother were doing it so hard at Harmon's, I think it was. And my dad came walking out. He was like, "Hey, stop doing that!" You know, we were just like fucking terrified because my dad's terrifying. When you're younger, not anymore. I can drop them. But
Oh, that's funny. That was one thing I was going to ask. I was going to say it'd be kind of funny if we were just like asking each other the first time, your first time ever, you know, like 'cause I had some, and else was talking about that.
I'll tell you
People
about that.
So like the first time,
So-
so people are going to go back to like that, but I was like going to say it'd be kind of fun to do like, what was the first time, do you remember that you ever, I guess kind of going off that story, that you ever disappointed somebody or let somebody down, or I guess, or that you knew you fucked up?
Never, dude. I'm not a disappointment.
And that right there brings me back to the reason I wanted to do it, because that right there would be a psychopath.
Yeah.
somebody who can't admit their faults or can't relate to mistakes or things
That's
they've
not
done
me,
in their
dude.
life.
I can't do that. I
That-
don't disappoint
Out of
anybody.
sight, out of mind, dude. I got one speed, go.
I'm like,
Oh, dude,
No,
I
but
can
is that what
remember
you
so
wanted to
many
ask? When was the
times.
last
Or
time you
random
just-
ones like that. Because I was thinking about that too. Because like, do you ever remember the time, like kind of gauging stuff where you're like, man, I don't ever want to do that again. Like when you're a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
For me, a lot of times my lessons were learned the hard way. When I read things in books, and I heard, the moral of the story, slow and steady wins the race, and it's like, oh, okay, so you can learn those kind of lessons. But a lot of them, you learn hard lessons and stuff, and there's a bunch of people who were doing like random ones, but going off that one, I just really thought of that. I'm like, that'd be an interesting one. So I guess if I were to do it, the only thing I can think of right now is I remember one time when I was really little, my mom like fucking gave me a $2 bill. She was like, hey, she's like, look at this, isn't that so cool, $2 bill? And I hadn't seen money too much, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm like, that's way cool. I'm like, $2 bill, man, that's cool. Uh-huh. And then, like, literally, like 5 days later, some shit like the ice cream man came, and I was with another kid, and I was like, barely had moved in that block, and I was like 6 or 7 or some shit. The kid lived down the street, and they were going to get ice cream, and I'm like, dude, I can each get us an ice cream. I got $1. They're fucking, this bill's worth 2 fucking ice creams, dude. And I ran out there, got the bill, bought that shit. We enjoyed that ice cream, tasty as fuck. Get that shit, go back inside, tell my mom about it. She's like, where'd you get the money for that? And I'm like, that $2 bill. She was like, what? What the fuck? She's like, I can't even give you anything. You're supposed to be like, collect that, blah, blah. It was rare, blah, blah, this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, and then she couldn't really get mad because it was already too late, kind of, so she wasn't mad, but she's like, oh, you just let me down, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh shit, she did tell me, like, hold on to this, do that kind of stuff, but I was like, nah, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do with it.
Did she tell you to hold on to it?
Yeah, she was like, well, because she's like, these are really rare, blah, 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 and so...
You can go to the bank and get some, can't you?
At this time, I didn't know this, dude.
Bill.
At the time, I didn't know this, and plus my mom, she's weird about that still, she'll find cool money and be like, because you can honestly go get them easy as fuck, but, like, I just remembered that, and I was like, oh, shoot, I did something I shouldn't have, because, someone asked this of me, and I was like, fuck. So I was like, I can't be doing that kind of stuff.
I feel like that
again.
story isn't as intense as mine's going to be.
Yeah, let's hear it. I was just starting it off, dude.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Fox Hills Elementary. I think I was in 2nd grade. But there's a building, the main school, and then the parking lot, and then across the street are the relocatables. And there's like a big slope hill. So I'm rollerblading after school down this big slope hill. I think I was with Abe. And
he's gonna say
next
no.
thing we know, after school,
he doesn't rollerblade.
It was
all you.
No, he wasn't rollerblading, but
he doesn't even hang out with rollerblades.
Next thing you know, we look up and there's no cars there, absolutely no cars. So we're like, oh fuck, we're in trouble. Next thing you know, my mom pulls up while we're walking on our way home, and she's crying, like she lost us,
Yeah.
And she takes us home, and she just says, "Wait till your dad gets home." And we knew we fucked up.
Would you guys do rollerblade?
Yeah, we weren't waiting where we were supposed to wait for after school. And instead of looking for us, I guess she went home and cried and then came back. And then on her way back home, she found us walking. And then our dad beat us. And we never did that again.
You could have been injured, hurt, or stolen.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'm going to show you what it's like.
Yeah. But next thing you know, we're standing there by the sidewalk for the rest of the school year, right?
Dang. Yeah, and see, it's little things like that where you're like, oh, dang, whatever the trigger is to be like, man, it sucks,
Mm-hmm.
if you were, say, letting someone else down or doing whatever, because, do you remember the first time, well, I guess let's hear yours.
I remember Admir's.
What?
Admir was shitting, right?
Dude.
And he went to go get some water, and it had dihydrogen monoxide.
A time when I disappointed someone else? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. I got a time for I remember Admir.
I know Admir's when he's with that one chick in bed, and she's like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" And he
You
came
said
out
16. That's easily a 12.
He's like, hey, beggars can't be choosers.
And I was like, what? That's my waist size, woman.
Remember when Admir first was over here, he was like, or when he was leaving from Bosnia and stuff like that, all the people were like searching for him, and they're like, where the fuck are they? And Admir's like upstairs in the attic. He's like eating chips. Next thing you know, he knew he let him down. It's like
disappointed someone else. I feel more disappointed in myself.
That's my next one. It's
there we go.
separate, dude.
I
It's separate.
don't remember, dude.
It's separate. So you're a psychopath?
I could be.
Like, I don't let people down, you know? It's not in my nature.
It's not in my nature. I ain't a fucking loser.
Yeah, you know, you look at a tree, you don't say it's made of wood. It is
Dude,
wood.
I honestly can't remember anything right now. Like, all I know right now is what's in the moment. I think it's the alcohol. I can't think back, dude. There's like a mental block right here.
I mean, if you don't want to open up, that's fine. I guess we can.
All right, there was
I guess we can
one
go to the
in
next
Bosnia in 1986. Just kidding, I wasn't born. It was 1990. I was 1.5 years old. My dad's like, here's the Dragunov. I need you to watch this corner. Okay.
And he's like, this hat won't even stay on my head. Dude.
I was 1.5, and I failed him. I missed every shot.
Shut him in the ankle.
The enemy crossed the line.
Okay, well,
It was a
that's my
failure
next
to my
one.
dad.
Say, do you know when you let yourself down? Like when you were a little kid, when you
Dude,
started
every fucking day I
when
let
you started
myself
realizing
down
that,
when I
like,
wake
oh,
up.
why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Like, I guess that probably comes hand in hand as well with your identity because people help inform your identity as your ego
it's
as a kid.
mostly when you
up,
get
know?
in trouble and then you finally realize, you see their perspective, and then you're like, okay, so it was my fault.
Yeah.
That sort of deal.
And you're a product of your environment. And so, you know, these people help influence your ego and kind of how you should feel, you know, because say like,
Well, it's
if you
mostly
didn't
the
have your
video
mom
games
there
that you
doing
play. So my parents wouldn't let me play violent video
Get the fuck
games.
outta here.
So I
Say
think
if
I
your
came
mom
out
wasn't
better.
there. Say if your mom wasn't there, she never showed up and shit, and you just pieced out and you did that shit everywhere. You'd never have that
I knew
time.
a lot of kids like that
Yeah,
growing
see,
up.
you'd never have that time. You'd never be like, damn,
Yeah.
you never had that. But that was the thing. It was in your
And
in my-
recognizing that is the difference as well.
Dude, that was like even with my family. I remember like you could go as far as I remember. Not even back in the day, you had to check in when you'd get there because my mom, you know, you send a 6-8-year-old kid out, and there was no cell phones, no shit, you know, and either at that time
With
I was
friends that you've never really met.
yeah, so it'd be like skateboard. Yeah, they probably really haven't definitely haven't met their parents.
Yeah.
Fucking so rollerblade or I guess I'd skateboard or ride my scooter or some shit, you know, and ride down there. And then if you didn't get there and like call and be like, hey, I made it. Like just be like, what's up? You know, in the front yard, still skating, start skating. Next thing you know, have like the little sister, or little brother, or someone come out. Hey, Brick, your mom's on the phone. It's like, fuck.
So
I just know my mom was probably like for like 10 extra 15, 20 minutes. Now probably just like waiting, wasting her day. Trigger, you know, make me wait. You know, blah, blah, I was waiting for your fucking call. Blah 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 blah. You know, I thought you. And it's a different thing because if that didn't happen, my mom wasn't like, hey, check in, do that kind of stuff. It might be a different stress, you know. I'm like, do. Whereas, you know, even then, that influences
Does your mom
me,
still
though.
do that?
Yeah, sometimes, dude. Like, I remember the first time I went on a trip myself, and this was even back before, like, I guess really even we kind of had cell phones and stuff, but I didn't really take it because international. But I went over when I went to Europe and did that Euro thing. I didn't really send anybody any emails for like the first little bit until we went, and then I was like, oh, and I sent my brother an email, I think, and then I was like sending my dad one, but there was really no phones or I didn't call anybody. And almost towards the end, then I sent my mom one, like, yeah, I'll be coming back, blah, blah. She was, like, pissed when I came back. She's like, how? I didn't even know whether you fucking landed, blah, 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 you know, because there was, like, transfers. And then when we did it, I told them, like, at least at my mom, I told her, like, a week before I was leaving. So she's like, what? You don't have a fucking passport. I'm like, yeah, I do. It came already, you know, blah, blah. Again, like, it's like going through it all. And so she's like, what? Where are you going? Where's all this stuff? And I'm like, well, we're landing in London. And then what? Haven't thought that far yet. And then so my mom was like, what? You know, and so then not doing that. And then, dude, it was like trigger alert. Whereas now, like, I remember even the last time when we went to Mexico, and I was like, I told them, oh my God, yeah, we're going to fly to Mexico at international, whatever. So, yeah, I can even text and call you and stuff like that. And I didn't even do it when we flew over there. And then she ended up, like, texting me, I think, like a few days later, you know, did you make it? Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, yeah, oops, sorry, you know, blah, blah. But I think that's probably just like a natural response from like parents or whatever. But it's funny how the technology changed and how like easier it gets, but yet still it's.
Well, now
hard.
when babies are born, you could have this chip put right behind their right ear. I think it is. We had it done on Audrey, so now we could just check in on her wherever she is.
She's like, is she getting too far away? Shut her down. She's like, don't.
A little electrical
pretty cool.
shock.
Send a car. It's like
Black car rolls up.
Hey, but that's like starting to happen, dude.
No joke.
Because
If you have a
people are
cell phone,
talking about
it's
that.
good enough.
That's so
pretty
true.
much.
It's basically
They have
it.
little kids' phones where all you do is have like 2 or 3 buttons. One for parents, one for hang up, and one for emergency.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
So all they can do is call you.
Hit the
no
button.
texting, no internet or nothing. But
I'd
they're
give my
small
kid that,
enough, you
dude.
know.
I would, but then again, it's
If you
funny
ever need
because
me, just give me a call. And
back
it
in the
has
day, we
GPS
didn't
on it.
never have to worry.
Dude,
about
back
that.
in the day, like World War One, what parents would do is they'd give their little
It was
kid a
like
hand
10
grenade.
years ago, 20 years ago, not
And they'd be
even.
like, if a man approaches you,
I remember those
you pull
days.
the pin and you hold it and you tell him, come grab
Well,
me, motherfucker.
And you have to make sure you grab the right pigeon when they're sending you messages, or else people get fucking
Dude,
pissed.
one
I know.
time I got a pigeon telling me to meet someone in freaking New York City. I went there and was severely disappointed.
But the amount of the hydrogen monoxide in the water.
It all
He was
depends
trying
on the
to sell me
time.
noodles.
It's funny because Serge, he was telling me
for the
about
pool.
when he was in Russia or like Uzbekistan and that, and you know, it's like 20 years ago only. Because he's only 40 something, and so when he's like, man, when I was a kid, my parents, you know, they'd give me like 20 rubles or like a ruble or whatever, and he's like a $20 ruble or like a 20 thing would be. So much money. I could go get a drink, you know, I could go to the movies, I could go get candy, I could go, you know, do whatever I wanted. And he's like, but things were different. You could go up to the machines. He's like, I'd go up to the old Coke machines. He's like, you weren't allowed to like take cups. It was just like one cup there, and you put in the coin, and then you take the cup and put it upside down in the water. It's like whoosh, squirt, like rinses it out, and then you fill up the cup, and then you drink it. And
Right then and there.
Yeah, you have to put the cup back, and you have to enjoy it and stuff. He's like, sometimes you're waiting in line, and people like sipping on the cup, and then you like they rinse it off and stuff. And he's like, you know, it was different. You just waited. It was easy. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I wouldn't use that thing. But that's because now, too, because all of a sudden now we have germs, you know?
Well, if you grew up in that time, your body would be kind of immune to all that shit. But if you
Oh,
were a
yeah.
foreigner and you rolled up there and you're like, you'd probably get sick.
I wonder about that, too. Like, a lot of the people that get in other countries and stuff, and people go drink their water, and then they get the parasites, and they're like, oh, man,
What
how
do
do
you
these
mean you
people
wonder
not?
about it? It happened in America is right out of the gates. It's like, hey, Indians,
true.
you want to have dinner with us? You know what? I'm all right. You guys go. I'm going to stay in my tent or my teepee. Everybody else comes back and they're half dead.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? You know, even I bet if they were to get like some weird little cold beforehand, you know, it's like in a little bit like the flu shot. Oh, man, I'm really sick. Go in your cave or whatever, blah blah. When it comes out from their sickness, it kind of got a little mild taste of it, so it kind of helps build up the immunity, gets through that sickness of the other one, and then bam, everybody wipes out. Like, dude, that's why that what is that? Guns, Germs, and Steel. That's a crazy one. It's just interesting to hear how when they got the germs or when they got the steel, when they got guns, how it just affected everything and everything around them. Like the germs was the crazy one.
Do you think internet's going to be the next thing on that list? Guns, germs, steel, internet.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like, look at gentrification. You know, that's one of our biggest issues. You go to the country where they're like, here, we're going to give you internet. And they're like, yo, we're trying to get food and water here. Running water's nice, but we'll take the internet. So, you know, you see the Arab Spring, when it was aired up, what is it, in Benghazi? I think it was Saudi Arabia. They had the Arab Spring uprising. They have only been told one thing, you know, you get told just the Quran. And all of a sudden they're like, here's the internet, you can do what you want. People start searching. They're like, what the fuck is this? And then all of a sudden, "Rah! Revolt. Or, you know, it could be like, all of a sudden, damn, we're going to do this.
Yep, there's
and
a couple of smart people there that actually look for the right stuff on the internet, end up finding wells and all sorts of shit, learning how to do
find
things.
water,
and
like primitive. You want some primitive technology, you can build yourself a
Fuck
house.
yeah.
follow
I'm going
a
to download
baboon.
all his onto a fucking flash drive, and then I'm going to take some form of little PSP maybe where I could just watch them, and then I'll be able to survive in the woods, no problem. Forever making limestone
Unless
heated
it's like
floors.
an EMP flash.
That's true. Well, I feel like I can make a generator out of a few things. I think I'd be all right. I feel like we do some things, but I know one thing you can find
But
on the
you can't
internet.
fucking pump up a phone once it's been flashed, right?
Was it you?
Yeah, I'd probably toss that, but that's what you're saying.
Was it
Like a
you I
huge
was
ass
telling you about?
EMP fucking world blast.
That's true. That stuff
knocks
does fuck 'em.
technology.
Like if the sun
Fries
you know, the sun
everything.
can shoot a solar
Microchips.
flare, and that's basically an EMP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fry
because
everything.
basically, even when like a house does a little surge, or like because you're only dealing with like so many volts in your own house,
Yeah.
and when it does like a little surge, it's barely a little spike from that volt, and you have a little surge protector, you know, and that will protect from the little volts and stuff. But even then, like sometimes if you have some kind of like where they have the blackouts and stuff, those little things will just pop, and whatever else attaches to it, fucking So it's like, just imagine the big ass, like a solar flare one. It's just like because I imagine it's probably some form of a light wave or I guess radio wave is a light wave that probably comes through and hits it on the screen, I imagine, and then just like, or whatever it is.
It just fries the computer chips.
Not even through the lines, just through everything, huh? Like anything electronic. Like if it was like a magnet, like a big magnet, like. Wah.
Would it even do it if it was off?
Yeah, everything.
Dude,
That's why people buy those safes that protect from EMP. What are they called? I think they're pulses or some shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the solar flares.
Dude, that's what I would do if I ever won the lottery, like a $200-300 million lottery. I'd build myself a little
EMP house.
not like a house,
protected.
but like an actual like underground bunker thing that was like hidden really well and like roomy, big,
Air conditioned.
with like, you know what I mean, gallons of water. Filtration
It's just like an
system or
empty
something.
lot, and it has like the for sale sign, and it has like the lot number, and he just got
Just
this thing
find your nearest
underground.
Kmart, dude.
Everybody call. I know they're all abandoned. Fucking everybody calling. He just like murders them. They're interested in the property. Yeah, we'll meet you in back. Isn't that way? Pretty soon, nobody will be interested in his property.
That
No one
would
will
be
over
pretty
there.
cool, dude. To just own a big property like that in the middle of a city,
dude.
and there's nothing but like a sewer pipe.
Kmart's.
Like a Kmart would be pretty dope. But
Nobody-
people would use
yeah.
it for.
No, nobody does, dude.
Let's say there was an apocalypse, though.
Crackheads use
How
them
many
to
people
live.
would go there to like just live there?
Perfect. Then
That's a
you know where
bunker.
they are.
They're right above you, and you can't
Yep.
get out.
Nope, you have a little death trap. All right, there's about 75 people in here. Push this button. Gas. While they're all sleeping.
I know everyone's like, "Fucking, we're
Yeah,
dying
there
out
goes
here."
my supply of gas.
Oh, you're in your little thing, your little tube, and you're in there trying to. I don't know. You probably got a couple people in there trying to impress them and shit. And next thing you know, you're like I'll make some stir fry on the walk, stir fry on the walk or whatever. And everyone's like, here's a little vibrate, bumping a little bit. Is he jamming out to some fucking rap over there?
Foo
dude?
Fighters and
What is
making
that shit?
stir fry.
Fucking Mingo stir fry and what's that? God damn, dude.
mango sauce?
Yeah, I can smell that. Is that fucking beef, teriyaki, fucking oh my god. It's like, all of a sudden, dude, people will be climbing through that freaking grate, dude. People would
That's
fly-
why you have a laptop gun
They'd
waiting
go-
for them.
They'd come through like freaking French fries, dude. They'd be like, fucking down in there. Be like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
That's why you have a reinforced submarine door, dude. That nothing can get through. They're like, bring the TNT. You're like, good luck, fuckers.
That's why I wonder if the internet would get put back up and stuff, because the internet's kind of really never there as long as you can get out or gone, you know, as long as you could ping the original server that thing's on, huh? So if that thing ever dies, then I guess that website's gone.
It better be EMP protected.
Damn.
You know how much porn is on there?
Everybody
I
has
know.
Bitcoin. No!
I've been farming for 10 years.
I know what you can't search right now. Freaking past episodes of the Lost Minds podcast on a lot of other platforms.
You can
If you don't want to listen to this one.
You can find us on
YouTube,
Hulu.
SoundCloud, and Amazon.
Amazon, YouTube, your mama's.
Instagram. Instagram's fire.
But I think that's a good place to leave it before we keep going more and more deep.
Best place to find us is go to your freezer, take everything out. We're in the back.
Best way to find us.
Chillin'.
Ask your mom where we're at.
Yeah.
She knows.
And, daily thought, I guess if you want to leave it, you're first. When was the first time you ever knew you were a stinker?
Think about it.
Yeah, enjoy.